to the garage. Let's do it. Oh God, it's miserable. Hey guys, Willie and Murfitt here, and in tonight's video we're just going to be talking about what's going to be happening next on the channel. I've bought a box of goodies from Bingley Hall, explaining obviously where they're going to go, the reasons why I'm changing them, and how it's going to improve things. So I guess there's not really a lot's changing here. I've actually put the kitchen units back up on the sides over the corner. The brackets and stuff aren't quite ready yet, so I've got a few things I need to do in here this weekend. So unfortunately, well, weather dependent, the Mini will be going back outside, but only for a day. Only for a day. So I guess I haven't really shown you this car very much. So there's a few jobs I need to do, and I want to do on this before it gets back on the road in July. So I guess, yeah, let's just get stuck into it. Okay, so here we have my 1979 Mini Clubman saloon. I sound a bit like this because I've got a stinking cold, so I probably shouldn't be out here, but I'm all wrapped up nice and warm at least. So, it's a 1979, originally was 1100, it's now a 998. Bit of a mishap on my part where I actually sold the engine to a friend, and when I tried to get it back, he no longer owned it, so unfortunately the original engine is now gone. I restored it nearly 9 years ago. It got on the road 9 years ago, sort of this year, so it was a long slog from where it was to where it is now. I've neglected it quite a lot recently, so it's sort of just been sat doing nothing for the last 3 years. So now, with the introduction of the YouTube channel, it's a great opportunity for me to get this car back on the road into its former glory. One of the things I really neglected to do when I first got the car on the road was any sort of major suspension components. I changed the shock absorbers, I changed the ball joints, wheel bearings, but that was about it. I didn't really venture into fitting anything to the subframe. So that sort of leads me to my parts I bought from Bingley. I bought suspension cones, I bought knuckles, I bought upper bearing kits, and then all the subframe mounts from the front to the rear, and also the engine mounts. So one of the jobs I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the engine from this car because it has an almighty oil leak underneath. The compression test I did a while back showed that the compression on this was pretty poor also. So that's a job that needs to get done. And while it's out, I'm just going to tidy it up, paint it up, and make it all nice and fresh again. Subframe's also going to come out. I had a slight mishap when I took this car for paint, whereby I actually towed the car, with the help of a friend. We put a bit of rope around the front subframe, and yeah, it bent. So I never really rectified that. I never changed any of the cones on this either, so the car is running on potentially the original cones from these 1979, so potentially, I'm saying potentially because I'm not entirely sure, these cones could have been in this car for 40 years. It was a bit of a bumpy ride when I last drove it. There's a gap in, is a little bit sort of low to the wheel arches as well, so yeah, it's going to sort of give it an overhaul and give it the tender loving care this car really needs. Okay, so here is the engine. There's a few things on here I'm not particularly happy with. Obviously, there's a bit of build up here from the heater tap leaking, a bit over here from the thermostat leaking. If you look back here, the carburetor's leaking. The engine mount back here, this plate here is actually supposed to be attached to the body. That's come away, so that needs to be re-welded back on. You can see the cones there, they're quite well compressed. So everything is looking pretty shabby. The black paint I put on it originally is all peeling off, so it just needs a real overhaul. You come down here, you can see Oh, there it is. The little kink in the subframe. Now that is from towing with a rope through this gap. Not the best of ideas. So engine is going to come out. Subframe is going to come out as well. I do have over here, you can see that. That is a old but new to me subframe. So I'm going to clean this all up, fit all the new stuff to that, and then this is going to go into this car. The engine is going to get prepped, put back in there, and then we shall have the front part of the engine all done. There is also, which I spotted this morning, a case of just down here. See this little hole under my finger? Yeah, so that's going to need to get done as well. All in all, it's a pretty good nick. So let's take you around the car a little bit. It's russet brown. I fitted some 12-inch wheels because I didn't like the 10-inch wheels. I'm not really sure entirely whether it's just the wheels I had on there or what, but yeah. I need to touch up a bit of paint because I caught the trolley jack on it as well. So it's been pretty abused, and there's a big muddy footprint down the side. Bodywork wise, it's pretty good condition. There's a few bits of rust coming through on the roof, so they're all going to be touched up. Again, typical mini places around the scuttle needs to be touched up. The bonnet is pretty good condition. So when the car came to me, I haven't really touched anything from this seam to the front, panel wise. I put new A panels on, I put new door skins on. Didn't even do any repairs to the rear quarters. It had inner and outer seals. Moving around to the back, which a bit of a pain without the flash on, got a low battery. Put a valance on the back, patched on the flooring. There's a rust hole down here, which I'll put a picture up. And then the same this side, inner and outer seals, door, skin, A panel, and then part of the boot, part of the floor. So it's okay condition. It's really sort of like just needs a bit of an overhaul and a touch up. But considering that the paintwork was done nearly 10 years ago and hasn't really been washed, it's pretty good. You know, it's not quite Total Car Review or Alex Toon clean, but it's clean enough for me. So as I say, guys, this is my Mini. Thanks for watching so far. It's going to get a lot more interesting, hopefully, going forward. But yeah, that's it. This is Rusty, the 79 Clubman. And follow me and join me in this journey to get this car back on the road. Thank you guys for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. It really, really means a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.